Well, today, retail sales grew in August. Facebook launched smart glasses with Ray-Bans. And I've got the hot goss from Grocery Shop 21. All that plus the retail challenge right now on everything we know about retail. Hello, my name is James Cook. I'm coming to you live from Indiana. Ebere Anokute is in New York. What's up, Ebere?
How's it going, James? Happy to be back.
Yes, I'm back in the Eastern time zone again. Jet lagged, but I'm doing well. This is everything we know about retail, where we tell all of you everything we know about retail, but we do it 3 things at a time. We don't dilly-dally. We get right into the content. Ebere, what do you know about retail?
All right, James, here is the first thing that we know about retail. So there were obviously some concerns. Back in July, we saw that retail sales dipped a little bit, and there were some concerns that that was going to continue into August. But despite all of these fears, we actually found out, the numbers came in from the Census Bureau, and retail sales actually grew in August by just 0.7%. Now, this is good because Dow Jones had estimated that they would decrease by 0.8%. James, I lost you. Not sure where you went, but I'm gonna keep going. Dow Jones estimated that retail sales would decrease by 0.8%, but they actually grew. And what's even better is that if you exclude auto sales, hey, welcome back.
I kicked out. It's live TV magic. Keep going.
There it is. So if you exclude auto sales from the totals, because auto sales saw one of the largest decreases at 3.6%, the actual overall retail sales grew by almost 2%, 1.8. And the Dow Jones estimate, excluding auto sales, was only a 0.1% gain. So this is definitely way bigger than we were expecting. Definitely a good thing. I don't know, James, did you do any more shopping in August than you did earlier throughout the year?
As a matter of fact, we purchased some new furniture for our home. We got a new dresser for the bedroom, and didn't plan on August being a big shopping month, but it turned out to be.
Yeah, it turned out to be. I think I bought some clothes myself. Definitely went out to eat a little bit. So it makes sense that we saw this increase. But I think the biggest thing that probably buoyed this sort of increase that we observed was back to school shopping, right? We talked a couple of weeks ago when we had Keisha on the show with us about back to school shopping and what we predicted. And there is definitely a theme of spending increasing this year since children and, students in general are returning back to in-person learning. So it definitely makes sense that for August, that would, result in a little bit of an increase for overall retail spending. So definitely good news. As far as individual categories themselves, spending at bars and restaurants remained relatively flat month over month, although it's still up almost 32% year over year from this time last year. So definitely trending in the right direction, which we love. Online sales rose 5.3%. Furniture, thanks to James and his new dresser, rose.
I took care of that.
Exactly. It was all you. Rose 3.7%. And general merchandise sales rose 3.5%. So the categories that saw decreases, however, were electronics and appliances, which came down about 3%, and sporting goods and music stores, which dropped about 2.7%. But overall sales are still up 15.1% over this time last year, which indicates that the consumer, us, is being more resilient and is not deterred by some of the recent news regarding, the Delta variant and things like that. Obviously, I think we've been in this pandemic era for a little bit of time now, so we've figured out how to shop safely, how to, continue buying the things that we need without putting ourselves at risk. And obviously, there are a lot of precautions in place as well. So good to see that we're again trending in the right direction and not being hindered by some of the the scary headlines and some of the health risks that we're familiar with at this point. So definitely good news over here. But James, I'm very interested to hear, what do you know about retail?
Well, Barry, here's the second thing that we know about retail. Well, first off, I was at Grocery Shop, which is a grocery conference in Las Vegas. Just got back last night. Before I get into that, I was on the Vegas Strip, and it seems like Vegas is not being deterred by the Delta variant. So this is some footage I shot on Tuesday at around noon. Looks like there's a good amount of people. When I came in on Saturday evening, though,
Mhm.
It was hopping. I think there was a football game or some kind of sporting event.
Sure.
Not yeah, I should know, but I don't. My
I don't
apologies.
either.
And there were concerts. There was a ton of people. And
Wow.
just as a quick aside, a lot of masking outdoors, not required. Indoors in the casinos and the hotels, everybody wearing masks. So
Awesome.
felt, it was a lot of crowds, but it still felt safe. The one place though is in the bars.
Mhm.
When people have a couple of drinks in them, they don't mean to, but they forget.
Start slipping
So
down, yeah.
my tip for Vegas is you can feel safe, but in restaurants and
Mhm.
casinos and hotels and outside, obviously. But I'd say if you're worried at all about masking, you're probably going to want to stay away from the bars. Not out of anything intentional. It's just like even myself, I was at one point having a drink and I should have put my mask back on to go back to the bathroom.
Mhm.
And I just had a drink, so I forgot.
Yeah, it's not your fault, James. It's not your fault. You're just human. You're doing the best you can.
Yeah. So anyway, that was probably too much to talk about that. But anyway, let's
No
get
worries.
into this. What's going on at grocery shop? So the big
Yeah.
question for grocers is how do you do fast local delivery? So Rodney McMullen, he's the CEO of Kroger, which is, I think, our biggest national grocery chain. Well, Walmart's our biggest national grocery chain, but after that comes Kroger. They announced a partnership with Instacart where they're going to do fast local delivery to compete with the likes of GoPuff and Joker. The difference is they're going to offer 25,000 different items, whereas like a Foxtrot or a Joker might only offer 4,000 different items.
Wow.
And their overall plan is to double their grocery sales by 2023. So that's very quickly. They're at 10 billion in digital grocery sales, and they want to double their digital grocery sales to $20 billion. So really ambitious.
Yeah, in 2 years. That's very ambitious. Yeah.
Yeah. Another speaker was Chris Rupp, who's the chief customer and digital officer at Albertsons, and they've announced a partnership with DoorDash called Double Dash. So the way this works is you're on your DoorDash app, you're ordering delivery from a local restaurant. At the same time, with the same order, you can also throw in groceries from Albertsons. Now, they're not delivered by the same person, but they're done in the same order. So it makes it, really convenient for you, one order, There was the CEO of GoPuff, Yakir Gola, spoke. They're adding 40 to 50 new micro fulfillment centers every month.
Wow.
So they're blanketing the US.
Yeah, clearly.
Yeah. What else? VP and GM of Instacart Pickup spoke. So Instacart you think of as delivery, but they're also now doing in-store pickup. So if you're a grocery store, you don't want to do it yourself, you can outsource it to Instacart. That's been just a big, question of how do you do your in-store pickup and delivery? Do you do it yourself or do you outsource it? That's been a huge question. And then the other question is around technology. So I always go to these conferences to see what the latest technology was. And there's always a lot of robots. This year, my favorite was these guys from Tompkins. They are for organizing orders for in-store pickup. So one person is going to collect items from the store for multiple orders. You scan them, and then the robots sort the items into the proper final order box. So it makes organizing these orders for in-store pickup and delivery at the store just a little bit easier. I talked to the guys about it. It's a new use for an old technology that's kind of like a warehouse technology. They have not rolled out any grocery stores yet, but I think they're trying to find somebody to do a pilot. I know that they're at that conference to try to sell themselves to a grocery store. So I'm sure by next year we'll see something like that actually in a grocery store.
Let me ask you, James, do you typically order your groceries these days, or do you still go to the grocery store and, get them yourself?
I would say digital ordering for me is a special occasion.
Okay.
If I'm, sometimes my wife and I'll travel. We'll stay in an Airbnb, so we'll do something on whatever Instacart for delivery, or occasionally I'll do click and collect at the local Kroger. But I am the kind of person who like just makes my list on Saturday morning and goes out and gets it. How about you?
I'm probably the same way. I wish I made a list. I definitely just kind of go there with vibes and then pick up whatever I feel like I want to eat for the week. But yeah, I haven't really gotten into the ordering groceries online yet. And it's not even that it's that hard, especially with like the Whole Foods and Amazon integration. Like it could be as easy as ordering anything else from Amazon, but something about having to sift through like pages and pages and pages of items just exhausts me, and it seems more difficult honestly than just going to the grocery store and saying, okay, I want that one. I feel like it's easier to find things in the grocery store than it is online. So I don't think I've ever ordered groceries online actually. It just has not hit me yet.
Well, here's the thing, like the life stage that I'm in, we have a set list of stuff we buy most weeks.
Okay.
So that's kind of like, the app knows what you bought last week. You're like, oh yeah, I need more of that, more of that, more of that. And so it's about replenishment. For discovery, which is what you're talking about. No way. I can't do grocery discovery online.
Yeah, no, there's too many things to discover. It would take way, way longer than just driving down to the grocery store. So yeah.
One other interesting point that the head of in-store pickup at Instacart mentioned was one of the edges they have, I think, over a lot of services is they've gotten the dealing with out of stock orders. They've got that really well. So some you say, oh, if it's out of stock, then here's the second kind of thing I want if they don't have that. But with Instacart, they're like texting you from the store. I don't know if you've worked with them, but you'll get a text and be like, hey, they're out of this kind of milk, and you'll see a photo. Do you want this or this? And that over communication, I think that's great. It's almost as good as having your spouse or friend in the store shopping for you.
Yeah, agreed. I've seen with friends some of those texts come in like, oh, this is out of stock. Do you want this instead? And yeah, very, very sophisticated, how they worked all that out. So I think I'm a late adopter, right? I'm not, against the online grocery or grocery ordering stuff. I just am slow to get up to speed with it.
Yeah. Well, it's all about convenience, and it's, do you need that time savings? And it is, I think overall, like people with busy families are going to be the number one, picker upper of that.
Yeah, definitely.
So Ebere, what else do you know about retail?
Well, James, here is the third thing that we know about retail. So we know that smart glasses are not a new concept, right? There was the Google Glass, I think was the first pair. Did you ever have a pair of those? Did you ever try those on?
No, but they looked so cool, Ebere.
Yeah, right. That's something that's totally inconspicuous. No one would ever know there was a camera, right? Yeah, very, very well designed. So they definitely had those. I know that Snapchat either still has or definitely had at one point their Snap glasses as well, which were definitely a little bit better than the Google Glass, but were still like this big, I think, from what I saw. I remember they had I don't know if you ever got to go to the pop-up that was near on Fifth Avenue, right? But they definitely had a pop-up over there where they were doing, all the different Snap like experiences and things like that. I never got to go myself, but looked really cool. So we had all those different options for smart glasses, but again, like we said, they weren't very nice looking. So now we have a new option with Ray-Bans, and Ray-Bans has partnered with Facebook for a line of smart glasses that they're calling, what is it called? Ray-Ban Stories is
Nice.
the name of it. Yeah. So it's in partnership with Facebook. Like I said, they have them in the, like you can see here, the classic Wayfarer shape, but they also have them in, I believe, 2 other shapes and 5 different colorways. So there's a lot of different options for what you can get. And they, you can see on the screen, there are these tiny little dots at each corner, and those are the cameras, right? So the cameras are very discreet. It looks like the glasses are of a normal size, of a normal person's, head shape, so that, as opposed to the gigantic Snap glasses or the Google Glass that we saw before. And the camera can be activated either through voice command or by touching a little button on the temple, which I think you can see also in this picture. So it reminds me a lot of like Men in Black or like any sort of like spy or something like that sort of movie where they're, tapping their temple to I don't know, take a picture or something like that. But it'll definitely be just like that. And it actually can pair with your smartphone using an an app called Facebook View. So this is what the app looks like. And through this app, any picture that you take will be downloaded right here, and you can share it to, any sort of social media. I'm sure they're hoping it'll be Facebook or Instagram, or you can send it as a text or anything like that almost instantly because of, the connectivity through Bluetooth with this app. And there's also speakers to listen to music instead of wearing earbuds, and also a mic for making short phone calls. So it really feels like they've thought of almost everything with this. And again, I personally have never used or operated a pair of smart glasses, but I've always thought that they would be really cool. And I don't know, maybe it's just because of movies, but the sort of technology that was almost like a no-brainer, right? It's like we should get, like, that's something that I think we should have had, operational for a while now. So I think it's really cool that Facebook has, partnered with Ray-Bans to do this and to make them in a line that is actually nice, right? I think sunglasses are so important. They actually serve a purpose, right? I was outside the other day, and I was like squinting, and I was like, damn, why did I forget my glasses at home, right? So sunglasses are something that we actually need and we actually use, and to elevate them in this way with a little camera so that we can kind of take pictures and videos of the world as we see it, as opposed to holding up a phone, I think is an excellent idea. And I definitely want a pair. From what I read, they retail at $299, which is steep, but not totally not doable. So we'll see. I think they're available now, and I might either get some for myself or make it part of my Christmas list, because I think they're really cool. Have you ever used any smart glasses, James? You use the Snapchat ones ever? Like,
no, I at some point demoed the Snap glasses. At some point we're at a Snap pop-up. I think it might have been in Chicago.
Okay.
Yeah. So my one, like, these are the first smart glasses that look good. No doubt about that.
For sure.
My one question is, with Google Glasses, if somebody was filming you, like filming video, I believe there was an LED light that lit up, so I'm being filmed right now as the person not wearing the glasses. I don't know if these glasses have that built-in light or not. And just like putting my privacy advocate hat on for a second, like, I'd like to be aware if you're filming me. I mean, gosh, Ebere, we live in a panopticon at this point. I understand that everybody's filming everybody all the time, but just for a second, I'm curious if I know I'm being filmed by these glasses. Like, I don't know the answer.
Yeah, I'm not positive either. I think I read that there was a small light that comes on when you're filming, although I'm not sure if it's facing outward or inward. I feel like I remember reading that it was facing the person, which might be counterintuitive because if you're recording or not, right? But so as opposed to alerting other people that they're being recorded, it just kind of reminds you, hey, the camera's on. So I don't know, but I agree, from a privacy perspective, that definitely could be tricky if people can just walk around. But I guess they could do that now. There's no light that comes on when you have your phone out. You just kind of have your phone up. So maybe that's the light. That's the signal to other people that you're recording them.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Noel says, if you're standing in front of me and I don't know you and you have the glasses on that are recording me, I'm not liking that.
Neither are we, Noel. Neither are we.
Agreed.
Agreed. Absolutely. So we'll see what becomes of this. But again, like you said, what's most important is that they look nice. So I think that already sets them miles ahead of all the other, advents or iterations of the smart glasses that we've seen before. So we'll see what happens with these.
Yeah. All right. Well, Ebere, what time is it?
Well, James, it is time for the retail challenge. Okay.
All right.
Excuse me. So we have 4 questions this week, right? And obviously I'm administering them, so you're on the hot seat this time.
Okay.
And you just gave us a lovely update from grocery shop. So I thought, why not keep this week's challenge sort of grocery oriented, right? You just went to the convention. I'm sure you learned all about grocery, the history of groceries, everything like that. So
yeah, we had a big history session.
I imagine, right? That's how you have to kind of level set, right? Before we start talking about the future, we got to talk about the past, where we came from grocery. So I thought we would make this a grocery themed sort of retail challenge. So
awesome.
Like I said, 4 questions here. I'm sure you're gonna get them all right, because
I got to get. Are you saying I have to get 3 out of 4 to win this one?
I mean, I guess, yeah, it's just you playing. There's no one else. So
okay.
Yeah, if you get 3 out of 4, then we'll give you the illustrious imaginary retail challenge mug.
And if you're and the invisible mug of winning. And if you're watching live, type in your questions in the chat and see if you can be the first person in the chat to get it right.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can get an invisible mug too. So here we go. We'll start with the first one. So we just talked about obviously the difference between, or whether we are people who order online versus going to the store. Obviously, we both said that we prefer to go to the store for the most part. So I don't know about you. I try to just kind of get in and get out when I go to the grocery store. I don't really linger too much. Like I do kind of, like I said, move off of vibes and whatever I feel like I want to get, but I try to just make it quick. So I wanted to know if how long does the average person spend in the grocery store per year? So
per year.
Oh, yeah, dear God. Yeah. I can't just make it a quick, that's too easy. I need to put your math hat on and,
All right, here's what we're going to do. So I'm pulling up my calculator. I'm going to guess and say average store visit is 40 minutes.
Okay.
Times 56. So I'm saying 2,240 minutes divided by 60. So that's 37 hours. That's insane.
Okay.
I'll say 30 hours.
30 hours? Okay, well, here are the options. Before you guess.
I should have waited.
Do you know how the retail challenge works? I got 3 choices for you. Sorry. So choice 1 is 60 hours. Is it B, 80 hours, or is it C, 100 hours?
So I'll go 60.
Correct.
All right.
I appreciate the way you worked it out. But I had the choices for you, so maybe a little bit more difficult. But yeah, 60 hours is what the average person spends in the grocery store each year, which I don't know. I can't really contextualize in the course of a year what I spend 60 hours doing in other scenarios. So, but that feels like a lot. That feels like a lot of time spent.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah.
In grocery stores. Yeah. I guess maybe people kind of go around. Maybe if I were to stop and read a magazine, it would take a little bit longer, but who's to say? So you got 1 so far. So you're doing really, really well. You got to get 2 more in order to get the imaginary mug. So question 2, according to foodreference.com, a very reputable, source, the average grocery store in 1928 carried 867 items. How many items does the average grocery store carry today? Is it 15,000 items, 20,000 items, or 30,000 items?
So I think the CEO of Kroger said they carry 25,000 SKUs. And what were the 2 options, 20 and 30?
Yeah, 15, 20, and 30.
All right, so I'm going to err on the side of more, so I'm going to go with 30.
James, you're on fire. You are on fire this week, okay? You were absolutely right. So the stat that I got was from Food Market Institute, and it said that they carry actually a little bit more than 31,119 is the average amount of items that a grocery store carries today, which, makes sense. I feel like there's a million different things in there. I try to avoid most of them because most of them aren't healthy or good for you. So I probably only see about 500 of these items, but definitely nice to have all that variety. So now these last, so you're 2 for 2 so far. So you're, almost there. You just got to get one of these next 2. And for these next 2, I wanted to try to, I don't know, either stump you or show that you're not relatable or something. And I'm going to ask you about, I'm going to ask you see if you can tell me the average price of some very basic items, right?
Oh,
right. So we'll see how much you actually go to the grocery store, see if you actually know. Because I think I got both of these wrong when I first, found these. So we'll see how relatable you are to the general population. So for question 3, it takes one hen 24 hours to produce one egg, but it only takes a shopper like you or myself a few seconds to grab a dozen from the grocer's shelf. What is the price of a dozen eggs? Is it A, $2.95, B, $3.65, or C, $1.74?
So is this organic? Because organic is more expensive.
I don't think so. I'll say no. It wasn't specified, but I'll say no.
Okay. Did you just pull up the price of eggs in one of your local supermarkets? Is that how you did it?
No, I did it. There was a website that was updated in 2021 that gave the price, the average price of eggs. Yeah.
So here's the crazy thing: we have our own chicken, so I don't buy eggs.
James
But
Cook.
I'm aware of the price. Hit these one more time. I gotta think.
Okay. A, $2.95.
Yeah.
B, $3.65. Or C, $1.74.
Non-organic basic eggs, the $1.74. Is that what you said? Yeah, I'll go with that.
That's the correct answer.
All
Listen,
right.
I kind of almost got you though, because you're not relatable because you make your own eggs. So I was right in that. But yeah, you already knew how it's supposed to go. So good for you, James. You're totally on top of.
All right, I'm gonna see if I can go 4 for 4 here.
Yeah, 4 for 4. Yeah, like Wendy's. Let's see. So the last question. Dairy farmers earn about 35 cents on the dollar for the cow's milk that we buy in the grocery store. How much is a gallon of milk, James? Is it $2.49? Oh, you probably have your own cows, so I don't even know why I'm asking this. Is it $2.49, $2.72, or $3.79? What do you think?
And this is like a national average.
National average, I believe.
So yeah, we don't have cows, but we don't buy a ton of milk anymore. Used to buy it all the time. I'm gonna go with what was 272. Was that one of them? Yeah, I'm gonna go with that.
Wow, James. Wow. 4 for 4. See, I told you were at the grocery conference and they gave you the grocery outline of everything. So that's why you got all 4 questions right, because you're an expert. So wow, you are epic. You're better than me. Congratulations, James. 4 out of 4 on the retail challenge. You're undefeated. I'm trying to get like you. What can I say?
Well, hey, Caitlin was excited by the fact of spending 2.5 days in a grocery store. Spread out over a year, though, I guess it's not that much.
It's not that much, yeah.
Yeah. Ebere, I'm sure you don't spend that much time. You're much more of an in and out,
definitely
kind of person.
I don't dawdle in there. Yeah, no, I definitely just get what I need, and then unless the line is long at the checkout, otherwise I'm out of there. Definitely.
Well, awesome. We've gracefully passed almost another half an hour this week. And before we go, I wanted to remind everybody to listen to our Where We Buy podcast. We do in-depth interviews on the latest trends, and we're on any podcast app that you happen to use. We're on wherewebuy.show on the web, Spotify. You want to listen to us on your device, we're there for you.
Absolutely. And also be sure to hit the subscribe button on YouTube and click on the little bell icon so that you're notified when new shows come out every week. Alternatively, you could follow the JLO retail page on LinkedIn. And there are new episodes of this show dropping every Thursday at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern. And you can find them at everythingweknow.show.
So, Ebere, I am still recovering from my trip to Las Vegas. I'm excited to be back again. I did a ton of retail research while I'm there. Stuff. I showed one video of a quick shot on the Vegas Strip, but we've got more stuff to talk about the Las Vegas Strip coming up in some future episodes. Also, went to Omega Mart, which I can't even start to describe, but we interviewed the folks at Omega Mart. I'm going to be interviewing Winston Fisher, who's the developer of that project. That's going to be both on the audio podcast. We're going to be releasing videos. We're going to be talking about that more, but that's upcoming. And the only way you're going to know is if you subscribe to all of our stuff.
Absolutely.
So do it now. It's going to be worth it. Hey, before we go, Ebere, what else do you know about retail?
James, at this point, I have to tell you next week.